Hi everyone. Today's video is exciting. It is going to be a compilation of the 11 or 12 days that I spent in the friend's home helping her organize and declutter after illness. Now what you will see is I've tried to show you the before photos and video and then segregate it by room. So if you don't want to watch the entire video, you can check the timestamps below and jump ahead to which rooms interest you the most. But hopefully you will watch the whole thing because you're going to see the befores and the afters and the incredible transformation that was made by a whole host of people who care about this friend. You'll see that Nancy, my sister, was heavily involved, and also she had her friend Peggy and her husband and some other friends that came along in this journey of helping her. It has been over 3 months since we started. She is loving her environment that she's in. She has continued to declutter and she continues to enjoy her new life, her space, and she sent several text messages that says we have changed her life. So I hope that you are having a wonderful day and that this is going to be inspiring for you to continue to organize and declutter for yourself, as well as maybe offer to help friends to do the same. Let's get started. So we will start with the before. I had not come into the home at this point of these photos. My sister and her friend Peggy started in the kitchen and spent several days there cleaning out this refrigerator, a refrigerator in the garage, and then obviously the counters and cabinets. These are all the before photos of bedrooms, living room, guest room. And before I got there, I want to say that they took 50 to 100 bags of items either to trash or to donation. So they did a lot of work while I had been on vacation. And this is when my sister reached out to me and asked if I was interested in helping their friend. And of course, I absolutely was. It is so easy to forget what it used to look like. So I'm so glad we have these before photos and during photos. And just to call out, all of these bookshelves, every surface had something on it. And as a reminder, this homeowner had been sick for some time. She admits that in vulnerable state that she obviously did some retail therapy. She didn't have the energy or motivation to organize or clean. And quite honestly, it's not fun doing it by yourself or when you are alone. So she has been maintaining it. So it does happen at different times of our lives that we need help and maybe aren't willing to ask for it. We're willing to give it, so we need to be willing to ask for it. And I'm so glad she accepted the help. So we are going to jump into what I call the during. And this is when I really came in to start helping in the bedroom and the bathrooms. And this is the state of the bedroom after they had already cleared a lot of the floor space. The bathroom had not been touched, and that was my first day, is actually the bathrooms and the laundry room, which you'll see coming up. But before we do that, let's go back to the kitchen where Peggy and Nancy spent, I believe, 3 days. When they first started, there was not an inch of counter space available, and they went through and cleaned out expired foods. They organized her supplements. They threw away trash. And now she has a functional kitchen again. They went through and cleared out her refrigerator and cleaned them as well. And I will, in upcoming section, work on her pet food because that needed a little bit more help of accessing it in that lower cabinet. But I have to give kudos to Nancy and Peggy because they did a phenomenal job in this kitchen before I even got there. Let's take a look. I am going to work on her cabinet where she has all of her pet food because it was not working for her. It's kind of low to the ground and she needs it elevated some. This is the cabinet that we're dealing with. You can see it has a shelf in the back that's hard to get to, but there's all of this food, so it's challenging for her to bend over and access it. So let me see what we can do. The organizers for her pet food cabinet all came from Walmart, and those white containers are actually ice buckets, but they were less than $3 each and made it easy for her to access cat treats and cat food. I think everything about this she liked. It made it more accessible. So let's jump into the bathrooms and laundry. This was actually my first day of attacking her vanities and her storage area. She had a lot of supplies, a lot of makeup, a lot of travel products, and a lot of duplicates because she didn't necessarily know what she had, so she kept buying more. And that's a common thing that happens to many of us, and no fault here, not pointing fingers. It's just part of life. But she knew that I was going to declutter her towels and keep the best ones that were in the best shape. So let's take a look at this together. We're done in here. I think it's taken me about 3 hours, 3.5 hours maybe. All right, friends, this is what the top looks like for now. We'd like to get something to put this in that makes it prettier, the mouthwash. But we've got her beautiful pottery with the Q-tips, the brushes, her toiletry type of things. And that's her face cleanser. Her makeup is all in this top drawer right now. And then she has also some base makeup in here. We also have extras at the back. Then down here we have some travel stuff at the back and additional extras. And then down below we have some extra lotions, shavers, cleansers, toilet paper, all the regular stuff. Then over here we went ahead, she had cleansers back here, but we put them in the basket, so that's super cute. And then this is now the tower, and this will be the pets down at the bottom, her towels up here including beach towels. These are hand towels and washcloths. Those are bath mats, her little soaps and hair shower caps, her little cute towels, and then the sponges. So I think it looks really good. And we are going to recommend that she not have the rugs in here because they are a trip hazard. Plus, I think it just looks a lot cleaner and she will probably enjoy that a lot more. But I'm excited for her and she's happy. All right, we are in the guest bathroom and I'm going to show you what we're going to be dealing with now. So countertop here is not as full. She does have some essential oils. She's got cleansers back there. And then on the floor, she's got quite a few things. Some storage. Lots of storage. So we will go through all of this. And then what are we dealing with over here? Not terrible. We are done in here. So this is what our countertop looks like. We found some hand soap and we've moved everything from there. Let's look down below. I have her cleansers down here, her steamer, lots of room. I cleaned her commode. I've had stuff on top of it, so I've cleaned her commode, and now let's come look at this storage. So that is the set of sheets up there, the masks, gloves, Kleenex there, toilet paper there, soap, oils, towels, candles, and then for the sheets, what I did was just put the sheets inside pillowcases. So it's just easier to store them that way. That's a little tip if you don't do that. It can just make the cabinet look a little bit nicer. So I think it looks great. Very happy with this progress. All right, guys, I call this the laundry room, but it's really a closet that normally has doors on it. We have one cabinet with doors. We have an upper shelf. She has a hanging area. And you'll have to excuse the noise, but we are cleaning the washing machine before we can do some more laundry. So the goal here is going to be to see if any of those cleansers can fit up here, as well as let me just kind of organize what we have going on in here. And that is the plan for this little section. So this is the laundry room after I changed the dryer balls into her cute little bag holder. I thought, well, how cute is that? And we're going to get some command strips and probably hang it on the wall over here. Right now that's temporary, but everything is looking good here. In one of her bedrooms, she had a bunch of paper towels and some extra toilet paper. And so I went ahead and put it up there. She can ask the housekeeper to get it down. If she needs it down, we can always make sure that there's an extra down below. And then there are all the extra cleansers and dish soap and so forth. So this little section is now done. Yeah, looks good. All right, let's jump into the owner's bedroom. At this point, she is still not home from the hospital when we are addressing this. And I'm just reminding you of what the before looked like before I show you the day that I actually came in, which is right about now. And as I mentioned, they did so much work before I ever got there. I at least had floor space to deal with, and it was in so much better shape than when they started. Now, the goal here was to clean as much of the floor and the perimeter because pest control was coming to spray. And so today was really about heavy cleaning and ensuring that that spray had the ability to get around those baseboards and to work. Now, she decluttered a couple of computer towers and monitor. So she was doing this all from her hospital room and communicating with us through photos and video and text. We didn't touch a lot of the paperwork. There were things that we knew we were not going to be doing, but we knew what our parameters were. And then her sweet cat, Riley, kept us company that day. But I did also go to, I think it was Dollar General, to get a few items for the drawer where I was going to be organizing her makeup. And that is an area that I am most proud of. And she loves that vanity makeup area now. So it was definitely a win. This box that I'm showing you, there were actually two boxes I consolidated. It had makeup and also other purchases or toiletry type things that I was able to downsize into one. And that's what I ended up attacking, and you'll see that here. This was everything that she has from the box, new purchases. So you can see there's quite a bit of inventory. I have put our little storage containers from Dollar General in here. And I am going to plan on putting maybe makeup brushes in here and possibly using her beautiful pottery and putting like lotions or something in here. So she has a couple of pretties out, and especially if it doesn't all fit in this drawer. And I'm going to keep going. All right, guys. So these palettes don't fit in the drawer, but I'm going to find something to put them in to make them look nice. And in the drawer, I have her blushes and her foundation. This is all her eye stuff, but her eyebrows are back here in the corner. Then we have some base here, and I have extras back here, some chapstick and extras, and then her lip stuff here. So hopefully that closes without a hitch. And let me show you. His new bedroom, all clean. Well, it's not just his, but and he has been loving looking out this window all day long. So he has just been in the midst of it. So I'm going to take you on a quick tour of the after of the bedroom. Keep in mind that the after is still a work in progress. So other than dusting and cleaning this top off, we have not done a lot right here. And keep in mind too that some of the work was done before I got here. So what you saw at the beginning had some work already done. So this took most of the morning and early afternoon. I am so thrilled with it. She had a couple of computers to get rid of, a monitor and a keyboard, which opened it up to become a basically little vanity for her. And in this, we now have her makeup, and we have her brushes all clean. We also have some more of her little makeup stuff over here, and her palettes that didn't fit in there, and they're in her beautiful pottery. And then over here, we have her hair dryer ready to go. I found some more brand new pins that she had that we put in another piece of her beautiful pottery. I also found this on her shelf, and I thought that's perfect. We'll just put some little implements there for nails so she can grab and deal with that. My sister went ahead and cleaned this out. We have nails in here, office stuff, and then stamps and envelopes. Down here's paperwork that we didn't touch at the owner's request. That's an empty box that she wants to keep. This is some makeup probably for the dancing that she does. And then she keeps copious notes. So those all have notes of hers in there. We have some large envelopes down there as well as some paperwork in here. This particular tub we didn't touch at the owner's request. This now has cat toys. And now this is the bookcase all organized. And I have to give huge kudos to the owner because she let go of a lot of books, knowing that she can go to the library. And we did a lot of pictures back and forth to make sure we were keeping the authors she wanted to keep and let go of the ones that she wanted to. We created some bins that are for sentimental items like pictures and travel and so forth, like things like that. And we'll bring maybe some more books in after we work on the other bookshelves in the other rooms. We've got the cat towers all vacuumed and cleaned up. This right here has been gone through and organized. We have not touched this yet, but we have some jewelry in here. She does a lot of belly dancing type of jewelry. And then we have some journals in here that she has, and I thought these are really pretty journals, so they're going to be easy for her to access. And then in here, she let go of quite a few things, but we still have quite a lot in the basket and down below that have to deal with yoga and health and exercise. We also put together this red lamp for her and then cleaned off her little end table there. That might have a little bit more work to do, but I think that's in pretty good shape. And again, another one of her pieces of pottery. And then we cleaned under the bed. There is now also a storage under there for some blankets, and we'll see how that lasts, if it needs to stay down there or not. We washed her sheets for her, had her bed made. This whole area has now been cleaned, and this houses her wardrobe, and so Peggy actually took care of some of that. Haven't taken care of those backpacks. I'm hoping that those will be able to go into her closet on another day. Other than a few other little things, everything is clean in here, and it hopefully is going to just make her feel so wonderful when she comes home and has some peace in her bedroom, but is still surrounded by books that she loves, makeup that she loves, and her artwork. We're just so pleased for her. So here is the updated cabinet, and I put her glasses in here. I moved her nails from over where I had it in this plastic bin to over here, so it's closer to her vanity, and that can stay more office instead of being primping. I don't know the other word to use, but and then we have some tapes and miscellaneous back here, and then she's had paperwork in here, so I think this tray may be good for her to just use for recent receipts. And then down here, all the paperwork that was old receipts from 2019, I've gone ahead and got those trashed and shredded. And then all of her batteries I took out of the containers, and I taped the type to the top, but I didn't have all of the labels, so I just made some labels. We don't have our label maker here, so she can easily access those, and we have quite a bit of space. We'll see if we need to use this for anything else, but for right now it's fine as it is. And one more down. So we have now, this used to be in the closet, but now it is a location for her throws, so she can just grab. I didn't want to overstuff it. I wanted it to be easy to pull in and out of. And then we also have her under the bed blankets. That is another cotton one, another little lap one underneath it, and then the Afghan. So yesterday, Peggy also cleaned this area. There were some new purchases we put away. You can see there's still some more that needs to be done. This is a tower of animal toys. You can tell the homeowner absolutely loves her animals. But this chair was covered, now it is not. And then this is the bookcase that Nancy is going to be working on today. And also this, and we hopefully can get this staged with more of the homeowner's beautiful pottery that she has and her other treasures that she has. She also has a lot of artwork. We pulled this out of the bedroom and we're putting it into another bedroom, and hopefully she can have a friend or a handyman come in and actually hang some of this stuff so she can enjoy it. So this area is the area that's going to be. How's it going?
It's going. I mean, I've accomplished the bookshelf, and this corner here I've gotten some boxes taken care of and put some things piling up in another room right now, but I like things, and of course we'll get to that. But these are her special treasures, so I'm trying to be very careful with them and just kind of dusting everything, and then I'll try to organize it a little bit more. But it's going good. It's just slow, it feels, for sure. I'd set a 3-hour time goal for that and this, and
you're over the
I'm way
3
over
hours.
that. Way over that.
That's okay.
All right, I'm getting back to work.
Okay. So this is now finished. Nancy did that. And over here. And completed this over here.
This is the cart that we're going to move out into the garage to put her animal supplies that she needs, so it'll be easier for her to get to. And then we're going to bring the nesting tables in here instead, so she can start enjoying but also using as well.
All right, let's do it.
Okay.
Entryway, she was able, is there some lights? She was able to put out some cute little fall decorations, and this space is now completely open, and it didn't used to be. So there's all this floor space, and over here as well. I mean, just an amazing amazing transformation. Yeah, she put all of her canes in this crock, and also there's some umbrellas in there, but just so well done. So the closet is the next thing for me. This has already been worked in by another friend, but I think between the shelves and bringing out shoes, I would really like to help her declutter her shoes today by taking pictures. And then some of the big items. If we can get big things out, then that is a huge win. But that is my goal today, if we can focus at least on shoes and maybe some bags. Clothes, I really want her physically here for anything like that, but let me see what I can help her with in this closet. We did put some things away from when we cleaned the bedroom, so heating pads came here, some lint rollers, and some other miscellaneous things, so we might be able to get rid of some of that. I do think that she needs a different light or a better light in here, or more lights in here, because it is very dark in this, and whenever it's dark, it's kind of gloomy, and it's no fun. So I would love for her to get some enjoyment out of her closet. And yes, you can have enjoyment in your closet. So let's get to work. All right, here are all of the tennis shoes. Many are brand new and look great. Here are some more casual shoes. And then she's got some cute sandals going here, some flip-flops. These might be able to be trashed. And then she's got these cute boots and those, as well as some nice little house shoes. Because she was still in the hospital, we developed a system of me videoing and counting next to each item. Then she would text back advising which items by number to let go of and which ones to keep. So we did this for the different types of shoes, the different types of bags, the different types of hats. So I tried to subcategorize so it wasn't so overwhelming. It also allowed her to watch the video numerous times to make sure that she was confident in her decisions. And I'm proud of her because she let go of so much. She did a great job. Only 24 pairs of shoes were kept, so she cut it in about half. So we have those, and she's ordered some Amazon containers we're gonna try out. She ordered 6 of them, and we'll see how they work out and if she wants to order more if they work. And there we go. Exciting. And she's doing such a great job. All right, guys, we're going into her closet. I didn't get to everything, but I put her bandanas here. I haven't looked at this. And you can see the shelves are pretty empty there. I did not go through her coats or anything, or clothes for the most part, but I did put linens up there, her travel items up there, some travel purses that she downsized. These are some travel items. And some purses she downsized. These are some silk scarves, her sandals, her dancing shoes. She's got a few purses and a hat, a couple of hats here. Her winter hats are here. Her gloves are here. And then over here we have her shoes. And I think that has some blankets in that box. And this also has some scarves in this box. And then we have some empty cubies down below. And then her shoes up there. And the only thing I have not gotten to is this box I have not touched. So it has been a huge declutter. And I think with the space bags, we'll be able to make more space and maybe bring in some more of like her toilet paper up here and other supplies. But she did phenomenal decluttering remotely. I am so proud of her. She is a decisive woman, and this is the mountain of donations that will bless others who really need a warm coat. All right, guys, we are done in the closet for today and for quite a while. I'm gonna head home, but this is all the coats that she has left. And before, it was jam-packed. There's actually room back there. So she has done such a fantastic job decluttering. We have her holiday sweaters over here, her vests, her blue jean jackets, some lighter weight, some ski pants that she will wear when she takes like the dog out if it gets really cold. And all her shoes we talked about earlier. And the only thing I did differently is I did bring some sheets down for her to reach a little better. And I also brought her fluffy pillow cases down and her fitted sheet. She has the actual sheet on her bed right now. And then we've brought her bathing suits in over here because she is swimming 3 days a week and hopes to continue that. And we did not touch this at all. And I have organized her pants. So it has taken us about 3 hours plus to accomplish all of that. But she has a lot of empty space, empty cubicles. This has some costume jewelry in it. Again, she does a lot of belly dancing costume jewelry. That will be for another time, and it might be something that she does a little bit at a time on her own. We have extra hangers, and a lot of this was because she decluttered. Some of those we had a little bit loose and extra right now, but I am so pleased with the progress, and we're just good. We're good. So happy it's done as much as we could. We are back in the closet and dealt with all the blankets. So we have her cotton blankets and her alpaca blankets there. Her sheets and others are here and here. And this blue blanket that she wanted accessible, we've adjusted these up here. So there are 3 space bags now that are protecting those and also making more space. And that's where we are. It took a little bit of time. We also found these purses and have stored them up there. But you would never know. I've spent a couple of hours just rearranging. Next is the costume room. My sister Nancy focused several days in here because she also is a belly dancer and she knows the different costumes and therefore could organize them appropriately. My part in here is just helping her get the things out of here that belong elsewhere and deal with that inventory. So let's take a look into this. All right, here is the before video of this room. And no judgment. I'm going to close the door so the cats don't come in. But you can see she has 20 years of belly dancing and has acquired a lot of costumes. And she also has some like shopping kitchen supplies and stuff in here. And she just needs help organizing. So she's got some new beautiful hangers. She is actually selling this, or my sister's going to help her sell it. She's got some Christmas items in here and some more art. So we are excited for my sister to get in here. We know this is not a one-day project, and she will take her time and make sure that it gets done. But how you can tell what an exciting and fun personality that the homeowner has. And if we could only all be so fun and colorful, life would be awesome. So this is where my sister will start after she finishes the bookcases out there.
I don't feel like it looks like it's better. It does, but
When you see the
It does.
before video and pictures and see this now,
Okay.
yeah, you will.
all right.
All right, so my participation in this room was getting the Christmas items out
Right.
and the quilts and the blankets so it could make space. But this is the magic maker,
Yeah.
so let them know what you did.
Well, I've gone through. This was piled. I remember that being piled. It still looks like it's piled, but it's organized piles now.
Yeah.
So she has a lot of beautiful, gorgeous costuming, and I have realized, even as a belly dancer myself, that wow, we have a lot of different pieces. So there's a lot of tubs because there are specifics to each of the tubs. Like an example is we have these hip scarves. There's some hip scarves with jingles or coins on them, and then there's hip scarves that don't have any jingle or coins. So I separated those out. From tops to skirts right now, and I've got to still work on this here. I've worked on the closet. I've organized jewelry. I've organized belts. I've organized wigs. I've organized cover-ups. I've organized Saidi dress. I've organized 2 different types.
What's a
of
Saidi
headscarf.
dress?
It's a dress that runs straight down, and it's when you only wear it when you're dancing, typically Saidi type of music.
Okay.
So it's specific to certain types of music and certain ways of dancing as well. Different styles of belly dancing. There's different skirts from 26 to 32 yard skirts. Yes, they're big skirts. That's this big pile here. You see these big skirts here. Those are the big ones. And then there's ones that are just straight down as well. Again, depending on the costuming, it depends on what you're wearing. We have U-tops, we have peasant tops, we have bras that go under the U-tops. So there's a lot of different categories that I've had to organize. But I've gone through every bag, every suitcase, everything, and it's all now organized. So next we'll be working on this rack and determining how I'm going to handle the skirts. And I've reviewed all that with her. I think we've got a plan. And then I'm going to note everything on the tubs, what they are. So I'll get a signage so that she will know. So that's what I've been working on. Oh, I organize canes because we dance with canes. There's swords that we dance with. There's what we call wings that we dance with. So all that's been organized. There's a lot. Continuing our work in our belly dance room. Here is what it looks like at the beginning of the day. My goal is to work on that rack and take everything down and get it sorted. And then I will be taking some of the items that are in these tubs and placing them on the rack. I still need to go and get some big storage bin to put some of these things in, and also to mark everything too. All right, end of a few hours today working on sorting the belly dance rack. Certainly this is another tackle in the future. And the only thing left to do, oh, there is Riley, is to get all of the skirts put into storage containers, which I will be looking at going to Lowe's to find. And one last thing. We have finally closed the closet doors. Yay.
So this is the guest bedroom, and it is still the before. She's got a cat that's kind of wildish, so I don't want to completely disturb the cat. But if I have time today, I would like to come in here and at least try to find the floor and organize and get a little bit of flat space and start working on this just a little bit. But we will see how today goes. So this is today's before. I will show you what it looked like previously, but we have our big teddy bear and some storage items under here, as well as all of her artwork. Some of this came from her bedroom, some came from the belly dancing room, which is her costume room. She has a cat that kind of hangs out in here that is a little bit of a wildcat. She's got some more artwork over here and some artwork on the bed. I think there's some newer pictures, things I haven't seen before. Now, previously, I went through her Christmas items that she had in here and her costume room, and that's what we have come up with. We've also put her gift wrapping station here. I have not been through these boxes. I'm not sure what's in them, nor am I sure what is in these. So we might just get surprised together. This may be a 2-day attack, but we shall see. Now in her closet here, I had moved from her closet. All these boxes have Christmas items in there. There is some pillows up there, some other Christmas there, but I have not gone through all of this. It looks like she's got some sewing items in here as well, and some pet blankets, as well as her Christmas blanket there. So that is what we are going to focus on next to make this room a little bit more livable and quiet, because it is loud with stuff. Okay, everyone, let's take a look at the room update. So now I have all of the Christmas here. I moved the wrapping paper out of a cardboard box into there. This is homework for tomorrow. And not really homework, we'll do it tomorrow. Sorry about that light. And this is cleared off. Part of the goal is tomorrow I want to look at her artwork and try to see where she wants them to go in her house. She has a lot of empty walls. And then here is the closet, and this is where most of my focus was today. And you can see I went ahead and used one of these to corral her wrapping paper. And then this bag is for her birds to cover up her bird cage. And then we vacuum packed her blanket and pillows here. This is a blow-up mattress and some camping stuff that's not going to be used a lot. Her ribbons are in here for Christmas. And down below is the only material that she's keeping from all of her sewing stuff. And I didn't film it because I wanted to give her a day of rest. And so it was just a little bit more low key and allow her to go through them, think about them. So now that's the only thing that's left. And I'll show you what she decluttered. This now has ribbons in it. So it is black ribbons, gold ribbons, all kinds of color ribbons, where this bag is Christmas. And then this is her tote and go little sewing kit. And that is her glue gun. This was her mother's sewing kit. So we organized that. We organized her little thread holder. This is kind of a handy person's toolkit. And yeah, I think I hung up the blanket that she's going to use at Christmas. And here is all her sewing, extra thread, notions, elastic. And here right now, this is just tissue paper that she had other stuff wrapped in. So I was able to consolidate it, and hopefully we'll be able to use this tomorrow sometime. And then this is one of her Christmas boxes that has something that's dear to her. I guess they're like little dolls. So rather than keep them out here with everything, we went ahead and just put them in there. These are her gift bags, as well as we found more stockings, and she divided the ones she wanted to use for actually like wrapping gifts. And so they're in with her bags. And then the others that she will use for decoration are in with her soft Christmas items. So I will have to do some labeling tomorrow. This is a new Christmas box, and it had been the stuff that was in this rose-colored box, but now it is up there and a lot more space. So I told her whatever's in here, I would like to be able to fit in here. Otherwise, we need to do some decluttering. So let me just give you a quick view again. It is still very full, but I'm going to show you what she got rid of, which she got rid of a lot. We have, I think, one big bag of trash and a bag that's going to her belly dancing lady friends. So this is our bag of trash. This is donating to Meals on Wheels. One of these bags is, or two of these bags, I think, are going to her friends. These are recycle plastic bags, and that's more donation. So all of this came out of that bedroom closet and in the bedroom. Guys, this is such a huge transformation. I do have empty tubs that we will plan on using. In the pink tub is wrapping paper that we're going to get a hanging wrapping station from Amazon. So that will be cleared out. But I want to pause not just on the artwork here, but just to show you how this room looks now. Now here is one of the art pieces. The art piece above the bed came from the costume room. And then that piece, so we thought those two looked good together when you first came in, and she's very happy with those. And then we have the mirror and her two smaller pieces here. And then she's very eclectic, and she loves it that way. So she did declutter everything that was on here, but we've got kind of a mixture here. One of her kitty cats who passed, and this is Riley when he was a kitten. So her guest room is looking good. I'm especially proud. I still have a couple of things to do in here, and like going through the end table and a couple of things under the bed and her Christmas homework with this basket. But she's done so well, and we're so proud of her. So we're looking at the full inventory here. And so the way I have it segregated is these are all of your like oil paintings and larger frames over here. And even some that look like pressed flowers.
My
but
grandmother did that.
it's
There's
gorgeous.
2 of hers crochet ones in the garage.
Oh, okay. Well, we might need to look
they're
at
real
those.
old-fashioned, but yeah, they do need dusting.
Yes, I have a
Yeah.
dust rag.
Uh,
And then these over here, I've tried to segregate a little bit. So you have like a Southwest section, and then some photographs, watercolors, cat category.
This one goes with the cat category.
Instead of, because you have so many, I thought, well, let's try to categorize and then we will address them in subcategories.
Okay.
But what I want us to do, and you have some that are in mats over there that aren't framed, and then you do on that end table have some small frames that are empty. Okay. So what I'd like us to do is go around the house and get a visual of your empty wall space. So when you're looking at these, you can say, I think I want it in this room or on this wall. And then we will take them there and then we can get them hung. Okay.
Good idea.
So that is the plan. We'll start from in the entryway. Y'all saw all of this and it just looks so good. And I am going to walk you then into the costume room and show you those. So as she walks in, she's got this piece. And then over to the right, a couple of her drums. Those are her quilts that we preserved, and more drums down there. And here is the artwork. And then we scroll over here, that beautiful piece. And her cats. So when she's in her infrared machine, that's what she can see. And one of her pretty drums. And this is the costume room that Nancy, my sister, worked so hard on. And the homeowner, our friend, also decided to sell her little trampoline. She knows that was not going to be safe for her anymore. So that was going. As we come back around, we're in the laundry room area and now the guest bath. And we did get this hung. And that hung, although I think we want to change the hanger still on that one. We're back in the owner's bedroom and one of her wall clocks that's really long, the one that's on the guest bed, will go here. And she's got her other 2 prints up there. And then the similar print is there in the bathroom. And we'll just go ahead and stay in the bathroom. We didn't change that out, but we have some ideas with a matted one that she wants to get framed. I think would be really cool over that. And we have these right here. And so that's really all we added to the bathroom were those 4 things. And then as you come back into her bedroom, this over her bookcase was hung up. We're gonna plan on putting some of her hanging jewelry, her necklaces here when we get to that. But for right now, that wall is staying blank. Just 360 for you. And then we hung this mirror for her dressing table. And it is perfect. And then this was a photo her father took. So we wanted her to be able to see it every morning when she gets ready. And one thing that you've noticed, hopefully, is that she's maintained everything that we have done. And we're just so excited for her. She's doing great. They're going to be hung above the TV. These 2 were hung. And then over this beautiful leather chair, her other collection of pretties has been hung. Now I'm unloading this box, which was in her closet. And this is our progress so far. That's all necklaces. That's earrings and rings and pins and bolos. And then this is the bracelets. And we are going to subcategorize by color so it's not overwhelming. All right, everyone, we have her little box of treasures. We have her overflow into here. And apparently this basket has jewelry and we didn't get to that. So she will have that for homework and she's got a little room for it. And then here we have some earrings, some Christmas. This box is empty, pins, and then her rings. Down here we have all of her necklaces primarily. And then her middle drawer I showed y'all really didn't change too much. It's all of her turquoise. And then we are going to ideally hang these up above here as her art decor. This is all of the items that she's looking to gift. So she has quite the inventory there. This is donation. And then in here, these are her more sentimental treasures. And she's gonna look for organizers for those. And then lastly, this is, or second to lastly, this is the things that she's taking to the jeweler or one gift. And down here, this is where her bracelets are. And so that is what we have done, and she did so well. This is what is being donated. So 3 bags full and 1 trash bag and a couple of other items. Now this is
Turning red.
Kansas City cheese.
I thought I had to have that. Oh, shoot. What do you think? Yeah. Oh, shoot. But I'm not attached to that. Let me touch it. I gotta touch the face. Oh, it feels so silky.
You're not attached, and you have a lot of other ones. So I'm going to push you.
How many people have a Super Bowl one?
Everybody that bought one. It's a commercial business. I'm gonna.
What do you think, Skeeter? Skeeter says, I agree. Yeah, I'm not attached to it.
Okay.
I ain't no.
Because
maybe
you
they'll go back and win some more.
because you have so many pretties, I'm gonna push you a little bit.
Okay.
On the ones that are not a necessity, right? And just when you think you're done, you're not. That happens to me a lot. So this powerful, decisive woman has thought this over, and she is going to donate this one. She has enjoyed it, for the season, and she is ready to allow someone else to enjoy it. So yay. This is our donation pile, some empty boxes, but she did declutter quite a bit, even though in the midst of it, it may not feel like it. All right, guys, that is our compilation of helping this friend declutter and organize. Thank you for all the support that you showed to her. Thank you for the support you've shown to me and my channel. If this is the kind of content that you like, please subscribe and hit that bell so that way you're notified when any of my new content comes out. I appreciate the support. I am going to close like my dad always closed his voicemail messages. Bye for now.
Go to sleepy little baby. Go to sleepy little baby. When you wake, you'll patty cake and ride a shining little pony.